All right, man. Peace. So now, I told you brothers that this series is not over. I told you brothers that the referees are the editors of this show. All right, their job is to edit the movie, to streamline it, to highlight certain characters. That's their job, and that's what they did. They had to, by any means necessary, inject some type of drama into this series. And that's what they did. So now, Golden State is basically in a must-win situation. Game 5 is like Game 7 for them. All right? Cleveland is not a team to be played with. They have more physical athleticism than Golden State does. They just don't play the game as well. But like I've stated repeatedly, Cleveland is like the George Foreman of basketball. Their power is always dangerous. They don't have great skill, but their power is dangerous. You must be very, very careful. You have to have a high skill level and IQ to beat them. So let's see what happens, and let's see how this game closes out.
Cleveland is still alive as Golden State's quest for playoff perfection comes to an end tonight. And more importantly, the Cavs force Game 5 Monday in Oakland.
You mean the refs forced Game 5? The Cavs just came along for the ride. Now, LeBron made a statement, I believe it was after Game 3. He said that Cleveland has to play A++ to beat Golden State. Well, from here on out, from Games 5 through 7, or however long this series lasts, Golden State will have to play A++ to beat Cleveland. All right? Because they will be going against Cleveland and the referees.
Golden State was hoping to clinch once again here at Quicken Loans Arena. They'll get that chance on their home floor Monday night. Let's go to Doris.
Well, I've got both LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. Kyrie, I'll start with you. Whether it was 5, 6, and 7 in last year's finals or tonight, what is it about elimination games that brings out the best in you?
I mean, it's do or die. We understand that. Us leading the charge on both ends of the floor. You got to demand a lot out of yourself, and when you got a running partner like this, and as well as great veterans that we have in our locker room, it makes the job a lot easier. But obviously, the job is still far from over. I mean, we're still in the hole. We still are in do or die every game that we play from now, but this is a good start.
What was so different about this group's disposition tonight?
Just the way we came out. Obviously, we heard their comments saying that it would be satisfying to celebrate on our home floor. And honestly, we were ready to get on this 2 p.m. flight tomorrow back to San Fran and get ready to play for Game 5.
Kyrie, thank you. LeBron, many thought this was a foregone conclusion, that tonight would be the crowning of a...
Why don't LeBron just shave all that shit on top of his head? That shit look like Yellowstone Park after a forest fire. Like, come on, man. Just get rid of that shit.
...of a championship for Golden State. What did you...
The brother, God forgive me, the brother looked like a damn burn victim. I mean, look at the top of his goddamn head. God bless him. He's a great athlete, but man, he's delusional. Just shave it.
What did you like about the fight that your guys brought?
We have championship DNA as well. And, we showed that tonight. We just kept our composure. We was in attack mode. We shared the ball. We moved the ball. And defensively, we're physical. And you have to be that every single game. So...
Yes, you have to be physical. Unfortunately, they were not allowed to be physical back. Because, if they moved, if they touched somebody, they got a foul call. Everybody on the team had 2 fouls within 6 minutes on Golden State. So, like I said before, the referees, they are the editors of this program, of this show.
It's one game, and it's going to be even tougher in Game 5, but we look forward to the challenge.
LeBron, there have been 8 30-point triple-doubles in NBA Finals history. You have 4 of them. What are you trying to give your group every single night?
Anything I can. Any and everything I can. I try to be a vocal leader and as well lead by example. I've always wanted to be a triple threat, being able to score, pass, rebound, and also talk guys through defensive coverages and everything. So I was there tonight for my guys. I was able to make a few plays offensively and defensively to help us get this win.
What can you take on the road that you had here tonight that can help you? Because the deficit is the same 3-1, but the challenge will be very different.
What he could take on the road with him are them referees. They're going to be the best asset that he has.
We know it's going to be very difficult. But if we continue to not turn the ball over like we've done the last 2 games.
Continue to bring them refs with you, them stripes.
Especially in their building where they're extremely good. They're a great team, but if we can do that and we continue to defend, keep bodies on bodies, then we give ourselves a good chance.
Bodies on bodies, meaning an excessive amount of physicality that will go without getting fouls called. Sure, they're going to coax you back into the series. Golden State will have to play A++ to beat this team from here on out. All right? The NBA, they want the drama. They want that Game 7.
Thank you, Doris.
Mike.
All right, DB. The mindset for tonight was win 1 game. Boy, did they do that. A wire-to-wire victory. And they led by double figures the entire second half. And will have at least 1 more game in their season.
What's all this dumb shit they doing?
Kyrie Irving, magnificent tonight. Once again, playing so brilliantly on his home floor. 40 points. LeBron James with yet another triple-double with 31, 11, and 10. And it's now 3-1 in this best-of-7 series. More coverage to come from Cleveland, Ohio. We've got more games in these NBA Finals.
They needed this game, though. The NBA needed this game to take away the illusion that, Golden State was just leagues and levels above everybody else. They desperately needed this game. So there was no way in the world that they were going to call this game fairly. All right. Oh, okay, so now we're going to check out the NBA TV crew. We're going to find out how they appraised this game.
Are you saying you'll come to Game 5 if there's a Game 5?
Let me tell you something. If there's a Game 5,
You'll come do it with us.
I'll come do Game 5 with y'all. Bet. We got a deal. You never see me miss 2 free throws in a row, so you never see me miss 2 predictions in a row. Cavs tonight. Cavs come out with the energy.
Shaq
Say,
says Cavs tonight.
we ain't gonna let you sweep us. We ain't gonna let you celebrate on our floor. Oh, there's Benny. There's TG.
They were all
There's
over
Joe. What's up, Joe?
They all made it.
Oh my goodness.
What a night.
And they were sitting together too. That's crazy.
Eight times the
Some
finals.
great tickets.
Look at Shaq's suit, man. The hell is wrong with this guy, man? Like an 8-foot-tall ice cream man.
Welcome to our post-game coverage after a frenetic, sometimes chaotic Game 4. Shaq, it turns out, was right. Chuck's got a book travel to San Francisco for Game 5 on Monday night, as he promised on national television.
And get some piercings. Didn't he say that shit?
I think he mentioned that as well.
Hey, man, with his shirt on and 2 nipple piercings.
See Web's here as well. I'm Matt Whiter. Good to have you with us.
Take my hat off to the Cavaliers. They played fantastic from beginning to end.
So did the refs.
Warriors were kind of going through the motions a little bit, but take your hat off to the Cleveland Cavaliers for just balling tonight.
Well, we'll get into the analysis here over the course of however long we're here, but this was utter madness, right? I mean, this wasn't just a regular game. So many different things happened. You had 86 in the first half by the Cavaliers. That's an NBA Finals record.
86 in the first half. Let me say this. Even with the refs, there's nowhere in the world that you give up 86 points in the first half. All right? They were not ready to play. No matter what they say, they believed that Cleveland was going to lay down. All right?
Finals record for a half. They made 24 threes. We had an ejection that turned out not to be an ejection. We had superstar players jawing in each other's faces. So much stuff happened in this game.
Think about the first quarter that set a record. In the second quarter, I think was only 2 points less or 1 point less. So just the high scoring of the game. It was fantastic energy for this crowd the whole night. And you know, you just say to yourself, Cavs, where the hell have you been? Game 1 and 2, you didn't show this. Last home game, you let us break. Now you want to start fighting. You know, it just makes you wonder where these guys have been. Yeah.
Where they've been is trying to outplay Golden State at their own game, trying to run with them. Tonight you saw ball movement. You saw LeBron in the post, working out the post, pacing himself much better. The things that I've been saying since game 1 that they had to do to compete with Golden State. All right, now game 5, Golden State is in for it. You're going to see if that game is close down the stretch, Kyrie Irving is the best pressure player on the court. I said that from game 1. So we're going to see how Golden State comes out. It's going to show us a lot about the growth that they had from last year. So we're going to find out a lot of things come Monday night. Because if they lose that, Golden State lose that game, them demons going to come back to revisit them. And them refs, them refs going to look at them and say, we got y'all niggas down.
Yeah, that's the thing that probably make me mad. We finally see arguments, disagreements, fights. We have two superstars in each other's grill. Yeah. But we see some hard fouls, which we've been calling for.
You saw Tristan Thompson show up in this game in a big way.
He's been arrested up.
And we heard Tyronn Lue say before the game about defense, and yeah, they shot the ball, but this is the first night as you see them putting wood on Curry and other little touching them on foul. That's the first night it was defense.
Well, they knew that they could put wood on Curry because they had nothing to lose. They had nothing to lose. They down 3-0. So they said, look, we're going to follow them as hard as possible. If they call flagrant, they call flagrant. What we got to lose? We're down 3-0. They didn't have nothing to lose. They came out the first 3 games under the delusion that they could run with them. You don't run with a thoroughbred.
This is what I want to see right here.
Look at them two arguing. Let me rewind that shit.
We should have saw that.
The first night as you see them putting wood on Curry and other little touching them on foul. That's the first night it was defense.
Look at them arguing. Nigga, you're not better than me. Skinny nigga. Get out of here. Both of them, they comparing who got more ball patches on top of their damn head.
This is what I want to see right here. We should have saw this in game 1. Me and C. Webb used to argue. Me and Barkley used to argue.
Question for you guys.
The referees broke Golden State down mentally. The referees totally broke Golden State down mentally from the first quarter. They wanted to sweep Cleveland so bad, but they didn't come with the proper intensity. And, you know, the refs totally jobbed them. But it is what it is. We all knew it was coming.
Presumably they can sustain this sort of intensity and play tough as the series moves forward. Can they play this well offensively for another game or two? I mean, their shooting percentage was hovering around 60 for much of the night.
Well, you know, this is how they play. Sorry, Chuck. This is how they play the whole season, shooting the 3. You know, a lot of people didn't think that they can maintain this in the first 3 games. They didn't maintain it, but tonight they stepped up. Now, you know, depends on what the attitude is. Don't be happy with we didn't get swept. Now you have to go to that play and say, you know what? Let's just play the same way, and maybe we can get one. But maybe we can get one. Well, let's be fair. The Warriors didn't play tonight. I mean, we have to be somewhat realistic. They were lackadaisical. They wasn't really physically and emotionally involved in the game. I think they assumed that the Cavaliers was going to pack it in.
That's partly true, but partly they kind of mentally disengaged when they saw the refs and what the refs were doing. The refs would proactively break any momentum that Golden State had. Anytime they tried to run their offense, I mean, you got to understand something. The ref has so much power. The refs can pretty much call a foul on any pick. And everybody knows Golden State likes to run back picks and cuts to the basket. You can pretty much call fouls there whenever you want. That's how the ref controls the flow of the game. That's why I call him the editor. All right? These games are nothing but movies. Adam Silver's the producer. Both coaches are the directors. You have main stars and you have supporting actors. All right? The ref's job is to edit the movie, make it flow smooth, and make it flow how the producer wants it to flow.
Man, and then when they didn't make shots, it kind of got compounded. But listen, we're not going to sit there and tell these people we think the Cavs going to come back and win this series. There's a reason when the team's been up 126-0, they're 126-0.
But do you think they can get Game 5 if they play the exact same way?
I do not.
Shooting the ball at 60%?
Because I don't think the Warriors will play like that. The Warriors didn't play tonight. Kevin played great, and that's it. There's no other person on the Warriors team that came to play tonight.
Yeah.
Kevin was like, I'm going to win this thing. These guys are like, we're going to win this thing. But
Well, that's why they lost last year. Because, Curry, for whatever reason, he has these games. But, probably some of these games, they just get to be a little too much for Curry. You could tell. I mean, he wants to be out there and try hard, but physically, he just can't compete with a lot of those guys when the game gets to be a little too intense. With all his skills, with all the high level of skills that he has, particularly offensively, when the game gets that intense, he just can't compete with those guys. Like Kyrie can go to the basket, he could take bumps, finish in traffic. Curry has a little bit of that, but he's not a phenomenal athlete. He's maximized his athleticism, and there's just a certain part of the game where it gets to the point physically where he just, he has to reel back.
Clay and Steph, they never got involved.
Durant was really good. There was foul trouble for a number of Warriors in that first half. We thought in the third quarter that Draymond Green had gotten himself ejected.
I stated after game, was it game 2 or game 3? Draymond is the guy that they're targeting. He's the live wire. He's the guy that they're hoping they can get to implode so that they can hopefully detonate the psyche of that team. That's the only chance that Cleveland has, if they can get Draymond to implode and maybe break down the Warriors from the inside out.
Because he had been credited. That's not really the word.
Let's really be honest. It was on the sheet that Draymond had
It was on our box score that Draymond had a technical foul in the first half.
Yes, it was
picked
on
up a technical
everybody's
foul in the third
so
quarter.
when you take it off.
The explanation we got, because I asked the league, was that technical foul was really for Steve Kerr. It was mistakenly assigned to Dre in the first half. That's what I was told.
Let me make this one point.
What does that mean?
The Warriors, when we played, when you wasn't doing something right, coaches sit Shaq down, see Webb, say, hey, this ain't work. When I was in Philly, Billy Connell, best coach I ever played for. No disrespect to Rudy Tomjanovich or Paul Westphal, my 2 favorites. He would sit you down and say, look at this. Draymond Green's got this. They got to put a tape together for him. The stuff he does, kid's a heck of a player.
Yep.
But every foul, he is so demonstrative.
This is what I said already. This is why I said it's unbelievable to me that Draymond has the nerve to sit down and talk about and get mad at reporters for asking him how he keeps in control. Like, he clearly has emotional and mental problems, and like I stated in the video that I did about the Warrior moms, he clearly gets it from his mother. All right? His mother clearly is somebody who has control issues. And people might say that's not fair. Don't talk about his mother. Look, I'm not here to coddle or protect certain demographics. This is a pro-truth channel. All right? Draymond Green has behavioral issues, and you can see that it stems from his mother. There's no doubt about that. I'm not blaming her. It just is what it is. I'm sure that she did the best job that she could raising him. As far as I know, he's not caught up in any criminality. So I'm not calling her a bad mother, quote unquote. I'm just saying that she seems to have behavioral and management issues, emotional management issues, and so does he. There's no doubt about that. I saw a video on YouTube today where it was a flashback highlight to Game 4 of the Chicago Bulls and Utah Jazz series. Down the stretch, the Bulls were up 73-69. Jordan had the ball, right? He tried to spin off Hornacek and pull up for a fadeaway to try to seal the game. Stockton comes in, steals the ball, but, he also fouled Jordan. Jordan didn't look at the ref. Jordan chased him down, got a chase down block, pinned the ball to the backboard. The ref called a foul on Jordan, even though it was a clean block. Jordan just shook his head and kept it moving. Right? He didn't get demonstrative. He didn't try to curse out the ref. Right? He didn't call the ref out of his name and run back to the bench. Right? Draymond has this thing where he seems to think that he can bully the ref into changing calls or into giving him a more favorable review. It's not going to happen. And Draymond, quite frankly, is very lucky to be on the team that he is. Because if he wasn't, he'd probably be out the league and not even know why. Because most people that have behavioral issues, when they have to face repercussions for their actions, they're totally incredulous as to why.
Yep. The refs are sick of it. This guy's gonna because they're probably gonna win this series. But going forward, he's gonna have to take a step back, like on every foul. Listen, he's lucky.
That's the one where he got the technical
No.
foul.
But he's lucky that Mike Mathis, Steve Jabbie, Joey Crawford, if you did just curse, just throw me out about 10 times, man, these guys would have, every time he made Hollins. Oh, yes. I mean, this guy.
Hugh Hollins was the worst fucking rep in NBA history. Right. The greatest thing that happened to the NBA was when Hugh Hollins left.
This guy, he is so demonstrative. He got to take a step back because he fires the crowd up. We got a special guest.
We do. Kevin Love has just sat in.
Gentlemen.
This was a wild, wild game, Kevin. I don't know how you would describe it, having been a part of it, but we were just talking about all the different things that happened. Not only the crazy point totals, 49 and a quarter, 86 for a half, but all the physical play, the technical foul, the scrums, the thing that happened down here at the free throw line. I mean, how would you describe being in the middle of all this?
It's bound to get scrappy eventually.
Why did y'all wait so long?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it escapes me. We felt like we let one go in Game 3. We had a great chance to win that ball game. They executed down the stretch. We made a 2 or 3 minute game. Couldn't score the basketball, and KD was great. Had a great performance, and we just wanted to come out tonight, lay it all on the line, come out swinging. We felt like we did that, and obviously in that first quarter we were great. First half we were great. They're a great third quarter team, but we didn't let that stop us. We want to come out, make it a point. They had 6 early, a couple threes, but we just want to continue to fight, continue to push that pace, and Kyrie and LeBron were special again tonight.
And what was the message in the locker room? Was the message, we don't want them to celebrate on our floor, we don't want to get swept, let's just try to take one game at a time? What was the message, and who was the main vocal guy in delivering that message?
Just if we played, we made a few changes after Game 2. It was especially on the defensive end. And we knew if we pushed the ball, those guys played downhill. We hit our 3-point shots and get good looks. I mentioned we wanted to throw a haymaker tonight. We felt like we did that.
You see what he said? He said we want to throw a haymaker. I told you, Cleveland Cavaliers, they're the basketball version of George Foreman. That's what they do. They want to throw knockout punches. They want to intimidate you with their one-on-one ability. Right? If they can't get the one-on-one scenario that they want, then they want to kick out for threes. They want to throw haymakers and bombs all game. All right? And Golden State got hit with a few bombs tonight.
We did that.
Including the bomb from the damn refs.
We got into the ball. We forced them into tough shots. The game got a little bit chippy, so we want to change the game in a few different ways. And, we felt like we did that more than anything. We were hitting big shots. We're getting the crowd into it. When we do that, we feel like we play really good at home, but now we got to go into Oakland and get another one.
You guys are the only ones that's ever been down 3-1 and 1. And so the rest of the world thinks, this is over. It's easy to say that. And I'm not saying you're cocky saying it's going to be over. But you can pull something out of that reserve. Or how do you guys look at the fact you're down 3-1? Is it that we've been here before? Or we just need to win this and get back home? What's your outlook now that you've won this game?
Yeah, I think every year, every playoff series, every game is different in itself.
The challenge for Golden State right now is to understand that they're going to have to play an extremely high level of basketball to close this team out. That's their challenge. Their challenge is not to resort to the worst aspects of their team, which is trying to allow KD to go one-on-one and becoming too KD dependent. Don't just sit back reading all the press clippings about KD and then try to make yourselves an Oakland version of Oklahoma City, where you just sit back and watch KD go to work. Keep doing what you was doing in the first 3 games, right? Get Steph involved. Steph is the key. No matter what they say about KD, when Golden State is at their best, it's because Stephen Curry is dominating. They need to get him off. He needs to get off. All right? Absolutely, because you can go to KD anytime. Steph is the guy that you got to get off. Him and Klay are the most important, because KD can get his shot in any setup.
So, obviously they're a different team. We're a different team. Both teams have gotten better. And I can go on and on and on, but
I agree with that. I already stated that. If Golden State had stood pat, they would not beat Cleveland in the finals. All right? If they did, it would be 7 games. All right? Cleveland is a much better team than they were last year. Golden State, if they'd have kept Harrison Barnes, even if Steph Curry was fully healthy, this series would go 7.
But now it's just one game at a time. And I know that's cliche. I know it's the thing to say, but our backs are against the wall. As you said, we've been here before, so we just got to take it game by game. We got the same mentality going to their place.
Chuck and I love when you play in the post and you're a beautiful outside shooter. When your shot's not falling, Do you think you should demand the ball in the post a little bit more sometimes?
I felt like I did that in the first half of last game, and I had to fill in the blanks last game. My shot wasn't falling. I was 1 for 7 from 3, I believe. So, for me it was getting the offensive rebound, getting deflections, getting steals, just doing the extra stuff. So, it's going to be games like that, and sometimes when you shoot poorly, it doesn't exactly mean that you play poorly. So I just tried to go out there, play my part, and tonight was a little bit different. We're all hitting shots.
What accounts for the 49 in the first quarter? Did you guys have any kind of a different approach? It didn't look a lot different.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot different, but it was a perfect storm. They played well. Golden State didn't, and the refs gave them every damn call. You get 22 free throws in the first quarter. I mean, where the hell do you ever see that at? I wonder if that's a record.
Different, but the results changed.
Yeah, I think it was. I couldn't tell you how many threes we hit, how many times we got to the line, and ones. Just playing really physical on both ends. I think that's what did it, creating turnovers, and whether it was half court or pushing the pace, we were pretty damn good.
Your bench has really struggled. There's so much pressure on the big three, but your bench.
The bench has kind of struggled, but Lou has to give them a chance to play. He refuses to play Derek Williams. I don't know why. I don't see Sean Livingston being that much more effective than a Derek Williams could be. You got to give him some time and see what you can get. Richard Jefferson was better tonight. You got to have faith in your guys. You just can't run. You just can't run LeBron out there like a damn Oldsmobile and think that he's just going to take all that mileage. Right? He is a man. He is going to tire out. Even though he played much smarter in this game, playing in the low post where he belongs.
But your bench has really struggled this entire series. And I'm not going to ask you to call anybody out, but who do you guys really need to step up? It's not calling them out, but they just have not played well. Shannon Fry's not even playing at all, basically.
Shannon Fry can't play, Chuck. How's he going to play in this series? He can't guard anybody. He has slow feet. He has no handle, and he can't pass well. So what is he going to do? He doesn't rebound.
Shumpert does not play well. Kyle Korver's hit a couple shots. I mean, your bench is really going to have to step up because that team plays at a much faster pace at Roracle.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the time that matchups, dictate the lineup. And, we kind of said it in the Boston series, Eastern Conference Finals. Obviously, it's a far different team. But, we feel like we just need that one or two guys to step up and score the ball or make a difference. And I thought, even though he's one of our starters, Tristan Thompson came through huge for us tonight. I believe he had 5.
Yeah, he's played very well tonight. He must have finally got his head out of Chloe's ass.
He had 5 assists. I had 10 rebounds. So I mean, that was a Tristan Thompson that we know, and he stepped up big for us.
Shaq and Kenny say, "I brag about you. I got a man crush on you." What do you say about that when I'm just giving you
Kiss
a man crush on you?
First of all, what do you say about it?
Kiss Cam.
What do you say about the man crush?
How do you outlet pass like that, Kevin?
It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Only Wes Unseld did it that way.
Yes, me and Shaq can't do that. But now that I'm close to him, we do have some pretty eyes.
Pause.
No, me and Shaq, when we're watching these games, obviously all season, we're like, Shaq looks at me, Chuck, you make that outlet pass? I said, Shaq, I'll throw my shoulder out trying to make that outlet pass. Even in my prime, how much time do you spend working on that?
Not much. I used to play, as I mentioned guys a few weeks back, I couldn't quite get the ball to the hoop when I was super young. So I played 3-4 grades up with my brother. And, my dad just told me to get my elbow in, shoot that ball up, but I couldn't do it. And, I kind of shot it from the chest, had a lot of accuracy, then it became just throwing it full court. I don't know, it just came to be that way. I can't tell you.
Kevin, okay. Like right here, yes, that's ridiculous.
Nobody does it
Can
like
you
that.
throw a baseball or a football, or it's just basketball?
Well, yeah, I can throw a ball. My parents wouldn't let me play football. They said, you get your ass in that paint and you stay there.
Play baseball with Clay, right?
I was a baseball pitcher, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my dad said you got to make a
cannot do
decision.
that, Chuck.
Baseball or basketball, and
It's worked
as a
out.
parent, yeah,
It's worked out
that
nicely.
I was going to play
Hey,
basketball.
trust me, I saw your paycheck. You're doing good.
What pace do you guys like to play with? Because everybody talked yesterday or today, this week, about pace, and we were all saying that you have to be smart with how you push the ball. You just can't run wild. What do you say about your team's pace and how you guys have to play?
Well, I thought tonight we made a lot of smart decisions. We didn't turn the ball over, and I think when we play like that, we make the extra pass, the swing,
And part of not turning the ball over is that whenever Golden State tried to pressure defensively, they got foul calls. So that makes them more wary and hesitant to pressure. When they're more wary to pressure, that opens up passing lanes. And like he said, they did move the ball more, which is what I've been saying they needed to be doing. More ball movement and off the ball man movement.
and you know, those two guys are being special and taking the ball downhill and getting to the rim. That's a pace. That's how we want to play. And you know, that can be tricky playing against the Warriors team because they get out in transition. KD is so good going downhill, and you know, it's almost like their layup drill or their fast break is you know, running to the 3-point line and you know, getting shots. And their offensive rebound, they're tipping back. You got to stay the bodies because they're going to kick it out and hit another shot, another three, and you always see that. So they're a very tough team to play against in that respect.
Kenny, this game I was sitting, you know, behind the ESPN panel, and about 13 to 15 times these guys got open. I don't know your defensive scheme. Are you switching everything? You're supposed to call it, you know, screen over, but a lot of times they're getting open to getting easy shots.
All they need is a split second. I mean, KD.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about them being open, I mean, Shaq, you got to guard these guys 5-6 feet behind the line.
I mean, KD. I mean, he's you know, so long. Obviously, his stature, he can shoot right over you depending on who's on him. So when we switch and we get in the body, he can just, you know, pull up from 23, 25 feet and shoot right over you. Clay is no different. I mean, he's, you know, obviously a tough matchup, and all they need is that, boom, split second. Like, Steph's the same way. I know he had a tough shooting night tonight, but, you know, we got to expect them to shoot better and play better at home.
Nice job. Way to stop perfection.
I just noticed in my eyes, got some little fluffy hair up there, too.
How does he smell, Chuck? Kiss Cam.
Hey, Chuck, once you go Kevin, it's like you're living in heaven. Great.
Pause the hell out of that, please.
Great job, man. Appreciate it. Great job.
Kevin Love, 23 points, 6 of 8 from three-point range, 6 of the finals record, 24 threes for the Cavaliers tonight. Congrats. We'll see you by the Bay. Let's get it inside. Steve Kerr at the podium.
Just one of those nights.
Brian Mahoney, Associated Press. Steve, did you know you'd have been called for a technical foul in the first quarter, and did you find out then, or did you not know until later?
Look at Steve's face. Steve's face at the start of this interview. He's like, he knows. He's like, Steve wants to say, these motherfuckers, they jobbed us tonight. But that's okay.
I thought they called it on Draymond. I thought I deserved it. But I thought I heard the announcer say, the PA announcer say that it was on Draymond. So then I thought the second one, Draymond was going to get kicked out. But they explained that the first one was on me.
1, 2, 1.
Ann Killian with the San Francisco Chronicle. You said before the game we've got to defend like crazy.
Yeah.
That didn't really seem to be happening. What went wrong there?
Well, first of all, I give them a ton of credit. I mean, they made some tough shots. They made 24 threes, and we knew that, you know, we weren't going to keep them quiet from the three-point line the whole series. They made some tough shots, but we were not sharp defensively. It's always a combination. It's never, you know, one thing. So our defense was not sharp. They made tough shots. They got it rolling. I thought they played a tremendous game.
Refs helped them get rolling. Refs got y'all out the game. Golden State was able to cut it to 11, even with the refs jobbing them.
I think the biggest thing, though, is they brought a level of physicality that we did not match.
You couldn't match it. Every time you tried to match it, you got a foul call on you.
And we have to do a better job with that.
The refs have to do a better job. Or I should say, the refs have to do a better job of not jobbing you.
Did you have any feeling that perhaps your team, was aware of history in the building and might have come out a little tentative, or?
I don't think there was any concern or thoughts about history. I think it was we played a desperate team on their home floor, a great team with great players, and they came out and handed it to us. Simple as that.
Tim was saying left to Cal County Hurricane News. Steph almost went scoreless in the first quarter. I don't know when that has happened. Was that a matter that were they taking him away, and were there no counters to that? What did you think of his offensive performance?
Obviously, wasn't his night. Started slow. We had some turnovers early, a couple careless ones.
Steph is a guy that Steve has to constantly remind to stay aggressive. Like I said, despite the fact that everybody's talking about KD, it's really Steph. When Steph is going great, that's when Golden State is going great. All right? Because Steph is just, he's like a nuclear bomb. When he gets going, that's the guy that you want to get going, because once again, KD can get his shots from anywhere on the floor. And Steph can do that as well when he's on. But he has to be on. KD does not have to be on to score from anywhere on the court because of his length, his height, and his leaping ability. Steph doesn't have any of that. Steph has to be on to score against physical defenses. Then they got to do a better job of getting Steph off early in Game 5.
He just didn't get it going. It was just one of those nights.
And what did you make of that third quarter? A whole lot of stoppages,
yeah.
A whole lot of conversations. There were scuffles. Did that just slow you down? Did that do anything to you guys? The fact that there were so many stops, it took so long that third quarter?
It was just an incredibly physical game. That was obvious from the beginning. Ton of fouls called early.
Especially on you guys. Ton of fouls called. Look at the stats, though. 26 assists to 27 assists. The assists were close. But that's way too many assists that they gave up to Cleveland. For Cleveland to get 27 assists and they play hero ball, that means that they were not guarding the passing lanes well.
A lot of holding and grabbing and pushing and shoving, and it just got out of hand a little bit. And the third quarter seemed like the game was stopping every time.
Look at LeBron over there flopping like a bitch. That guy's something else. No wonder he wants to go into Hollywood.
Kenny on the right.
Steve, Kenny Ronan, WHBC. After one day off and LeBron and Kyrie playing so many minutes the other night, were you thinking the same thing tonight, that they might run out of gas and that you guys would be able to come back, or no?
I was hoping they'd get tired, but they didn't seem to get tired tonight. They were phenomenal. Both guys...
And that was a major issue. That was a major tactical mistake by Steve Kerr and Draymond Green to talk about how tired Kyrie and LeBron got. You never talk about what your opponent, what your adversary is doing to hurt themselves, because what they'll do is they'll stop doing it. All right? They should have left it till after the series to talk about how tired LeBron and Kyrie were getting due to the tactics that they were using of one-on-one basketball. They should have let that go. All right, they started blabbing and running their mouth after Game 3 that Kyrie and LeBron were getting tired from playing one-on-one basketball. So what did they start doing? They put LeBron in the post and let him work out the post, and they start moving the ball and getting easier shots. They should have kept their damn mouth shut.
Played tremendous games. Really did some amazing things one-on-one, making shots. And then they got a lot of contributions from others, too. I thought, JR got going, and Richard Jefferson gave them good minutes. And it's a great team effort for Cleveland.
And why was Tristan able to impact the game tonight when he really hasn't been able to prior to it? Steve Kerr and the Warriors no longer have perfection in front of them, still have the finals to win. It only takes one more victory, and they're headed back home for Game 5 on Monday night. We'll stick here in Cleveland to wrap up our post-game coverage. Plenty more coming.
All right, so we're back with the post-game show. Let's see who else they're going to interview.
Game Time, live from the NBA Finals, is presented by State Farm. Here to help life go right.
This was a wild Game 4. Warriors seeking perfection. Cavaliers.
Look at Dwayne Wade. There's another attention whore. Guy 35 years old running around trying to look like an R&B star, tinting the top of his hair. This guy, let me tell you something. It wouldn't shock me if if in 20 years this guy becomes the so-called black version of Bruce Jenner. All right, if you know what I mean. Wouldn't shock me one bit.
Cavaliers just trying to keep it going. Dwayne Wade, what has happened to Dwayne Wade?
That's a good question. What has happened to Dwayne Wade? All right. All of a sudden, this dude is a fashionista, so-called fashionista, and running around worried about showing his damn chest hair at every game, with auburn tints in his hair.
Hold on. MC Gusto. Hey, come on, man. The internet said he looked like a Haitian drug lord.
On that play, by the way, LeBron passed Michael Jordan. LeBron passed Michael Jordan for third in final scoring history. Kevin Love.
Listen, the Cavs came out with a lot of energy. They said, you know what, we don't want these guys to celebrate on the floor. Yeah. And, they stuck with their game plan. Live by the three, die by the three. Tonight they live by the three. But look, they cut two shots.
Yeah, great cutting. A lot of things that they should have been doing for the whole series.
They moved off the ball. Love had 14 in the first half.
See how easy the game becomes when you move the ball, LeBron?
LeBron.
They dominated in the paint, too.
They scored 49 in the first quarter.
I thought they did a good job of just taking the ball down low. Something we've been calling on them to do.
Kevin Durant had 22 in the first half and one there. Got him within 11.
He was the only one who played tonight. As Steve Kerr said it, we didn't have any defensive intensity. You want to hear an interesting stat, Matt?
Sure.
I was in the back with Bones at halftime.
How the hell does Kyrie get that open? Like, come on, man. Sean Livingston. That's why I said I don't understand why Tyronn Lue won't play Derek Williams. If Sean Livingston can get out there, Derek Williams can get out there.
He said that at the first half, Golden State didn't have any fast break points. Zero.
Well,
once again, that's why I say Kyrie is the greatest layup make I've ever seen. I don't care who gets mad. And I stated explicitly why. Because he has a left overhand layup. All right? He has a left overhand layup. The only other guy I've ever seen who made that shot as consistently as Kyrie or attempted that shot and made it consistently was Larry Bird.
Well, it's just Cleveland was shooting like 60%. Hard to run that way.
I have to agree with Chuck, though. I think that, when you look at this game, we definitely have to give Cleveland. Cleveland took the game. They won, right? But when you Golden State missed so many easy shots and didn't play there.
Well, they mailed it in tonight thinking it was over. Anytime you give up 49 points in the first quarter and 80 at the half, you are not in it.
Absolutely. And combine that with the refs. I think that Golden State saw the writing on the wall early with the refs, and they said, fuck it.
They gave up 86 points in the first half.
49, 86 to 154. All NBA Finals records. Second half.
And the boys had that champagne on ice.
Oh, look at this. An all-star game is breaking out.
Yes, it is. That was a great play right there.
Dunked over his own player. Tristan tried to go up for it. He's like, no, I need this.
Bunch of travel, too. You saw that? That's close. Boy, they don't, this the NBA. We don't call traveling. I agree with you, Chuck. Golden State play like, look, and we win it, but it's not. Guess what? We're going to be at the crib. And we ain't never wanted at the crib before. We got it. I think the refs right here, this was a kind of, they call it flagrant. That wasn't flagrant. But the one Draymond had later in the game was more flagrant.
Yeah,
on Tristan Thompson, yes.
And I thought the refs could have did it better.
LeBron looking at Katie like, why you talking so crazy, though? He said, why you talking so crazy, though? In other words, you letting the media gas your ass up. Rewind this.
A better job. Like, they're supposed to break,
They call it flagrant. That wasn't flagrant. But the one...
Read LeBron lips. LeBron gonna look at Katie. Why you talking so crazy?
The one Draymond had later in the game was more flagrant.
Yeah,
on Tristan Thompson, yes.
And I thought the refs could have did a better job. Like, they're supposed to break,
LeBron said, why you talking so crazy, though?
Shaq read his lips, too.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, I liked it, too.
It's about time they start competing. Great ball movement. Thank you. Thank you. We've been
LeBron know why he talking crazy, because he want what LeBron have. That's why. All that friendship goes out the window when it come time for to try to take the throne. Look at Magic and Isaiah. Them niggas was kissing each other before the damn game. As soon as the series got deep, that friendship went right out the window.
Knockout shooter. Thank you.
Step back.
Man, this would be a great series if it was 2 teams, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the Cavaliers got to feel like it should have been. With that late lead they blew or couldn't hold in Game 3.
Man. Ooh. Klay Thompson was 4 for 11. Steph Kerr was 4 for 13. That's not going to happen often.
I tell you what, Cleveland, in the next game, they better weather the storm. Them boys going to come out on fire.
Cavaliers. Warriors dominated the first 2 third quarters of this series. Cavaliers won this one 29-28.
You know that's the loudest arena in the NBA. That thing is going to be yellow and on fire. Man, Grant Hill got some big old ears on the sideline over there.
137, 116.
He heard you.
LeBron just happy. He's happy for a few reasons. He's happy not to get swept, and he's happy that he's not going to be the guy that gives up a sweep to a team that has a perfect postseason. All right, that was big for him, and he knows it too.
He heard you too. He can tell us what the Cavaliers are saying in the locker room from out here.
LeBron James recorded his 9th finals triple-double, passing Magic Johnson, or separating himself from Magic Johnson, most ever in NBA Finals history. Kyrie goes for 40 on the night, on 7 of 12 three-point shooting. Finals record 24 threes for the Cavaliers as a team. Yes, Grant heard you, by the way. So where do we go from here? I mean, obviously, well, we go, and Chuck's coming with us because he said so.
Shirtless.
You're not coming?
I'm not
We
coming.
go to San Francisco to get the piercings. They got a lot of good tattoo shops in San Francisco.
I tell you what I am doing. And I'm being serious for a
They're
second.
going to text you. What you going to do?
I'm going to a fat farm for the next 6 weeks.
How they going to help you?
It's going to help me.
You ain't dedicated. I believe. So you're going to be straight.
Yeah,
You're going on vacation.
No, I'm going to a fat farm.
Where's you on vacation?
Chuck dumbass. This guy's a former professional athlete talking about he's going to a fat farm. All right, that's what people that have no discipline do. I'm going to a fat farm. It's like somebody saying I'm going to get lipo. How about you take all the ice cream out of your goddamn freezer, take all the rice and the white bread and the carbs and the dairy out of your refrigerator, and just and you know, I'm sure that you have a gym in your house that you don't use. The gym probably got cobwebs and shit on it. You know, why don't you take the cobwebs off of your barbell plate and do some working out? You don't need to go no damn fat farm.
Vacation first, Chuck.
I'm embarrassed how fat I have become.
You should be.
I have become lazy. Number one, I'm not healthy.
See, that's it. But and let me say this. You see what he's saying? He's speaking the truth about himself. Now, I did a video with Terrence Crawford and showed a lot of the so-called black female family members of his in the audience, all grossly overweight. And I said that they look like a bunch of damn buffaloes. And they was dancing in the audience. I said, do the buffalo. Right? Some people got mad. They said, oh, why are you making personal attacks? You know, whenever. Right, but like I was saying, whenever you speak the truth about these other demographics, particularly about females, they tell you why you making personal attacks, why you hating. But you see here, a man, Charles Barkley, he was able to look himself in the mirror and say, I'm not healthy, and he's not healthy. Like I said, I saw an interview with him on CBS Morning News when he announced that he was going to be doing that special on race. And I stated when I saw it, he looked like he's an alcoholic and a drug addict. Honestly, he looked like somebody who snort coke, allegedly. All right, you could look around his eyes and, you know, the purple around his eyes. You can see he's not healthy. The brother's not healthy. He got to get his shit together. The fact that he's going to a fat farm tells me that he knows that he has no discipline. All right, which is a major, major issue. I say this all the time. A lot of these people who act like they living it up and, oh, I go to the club every weekend. I'm here, I'm there. I'm super social. I'm always hanging out. A lot of those people are depressed inside, man. All right. There's a reason why they say that a lot of your greatest comedians are inwardly depressed. I believe Charles is dealing with a lot of depression issues. But, you know, it is what it is. That's between him and whoever's providing him with some type of psychological support. But I think he's depressed about a lot of things. A lot of times people use humor to cover up their, you know, their depressions and their other little issues. But hopefully, you know, all jokes aside, hopefully the brother can can get the help that he needs because he is unhealthy. You can look at him and see that.
Number one, I'm not healthy. Y'all not going to see me. I got to come back for that award show. I'm taking the next 6 weeks to get my fat ass in shape. Not around any, so I don't drink. I got to eat healthy and I got to work out. So I'm disappearing until I see y'all.
So you're being serious right now?
I'm being serious, yeah.
Where you going, to Duke?
Good for you.
No, down to San Antonio. Okay. With all them other big women.
I knew that was coming.
You know, as soon as you said that, I knew we were coming right back around there.
No, but I'm being serious now.
Where you going, to Duke?
Good for you.
No, down to San Antonio. Okay. With all them other big women.
You know, as soon as you said that, I knew we were coming right back around there.
No, but I'm being serious now. I'm being very serious. So, but you know, it's something I need to do because I'm not healthy. I'm not getting any younger. And one thing you don't see a lot of fat old people.
That's for sure. You definitely don't see a lot of fat old black people. All right, so-called black. The brother probably has a bad diet too. He's from Alabama, so he probably eating all that damn swine.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, we love you, man.
Yeah, but I got to get healthy, man.
Yeah, get losing.
Just for the record, you want me to get 2-for-1 deal, you can go 2.
I'm already healthy, Chuck. I got a 5-pack. It's coming in. Coming in. Yeah, transition that, Matt.
Not a great segue for that, is there? I'm going to go to break. Then we'll come back and we'll talk basketball again.
But Chuck is bringing sexy back for the big fellas, baby.
Next season when I get back, I'm going to be so sexy.
Chuck is bringing sexy back.
I ain't going to even need the makeup because y'all just be saying, damn, Chuck look good.
Got something that can help you, Chuck.
Get the win tonight. They're back in the series.
Didn't I just mention that? Don't be surprised if Chuck hits a little lipo. All right. But anyway. All right. So now let's see what Kyrie has to say.
Shots and fadeaways.
This was not a fun game to officiate. I can tell you that.
And it wasn't a great officiated game.
Maybe not, but it was also not an easy game to officiate.
It was done beautifully. What you talking about?
I don't know about that, but Kyrie Irving is inside after a 40-point Game 4.
Here, some chatter going on throughout, the Warriors locker room in terms of them trying to, end it here, and it was another do or die game for us, and we had to leave it all out there. I was quoted in saying that there was no other option, and that was completely true, and that still stands. We still have to go up there, Game 5, which is going to be unbelievable atmosphere. We know they're going to come out with a hit-first mentality, but we got to hit them first, and relishing the challenge.
Golden State better not play with these guys, man. Golden State better not play with these guys, man. I saw a couple of comments on a couple of videos that I posted today. Oh, this series is over, bro. The series is over after you win 4 games. It's the first team to 4. All right? It's the first team to 4. Golden State will have to play A++ for the rest of the series to beat this team because they're going against Cleveland and they're going against the refs. All right?
And, welcome all challenges that we'll be faced with throughout the game. But, glad that we got the monkey off our back in terms of just getting one win in this series in terms of going against this great team. But, you don't want to ever take it for granted. Watch film and see where we can get better.
Kenny, staying on the right.
Kenny wrote at WHBC, 49 points in the first quarter, a record. How was that ice bath, okay?
Yeah, I just got out of it again. I apologize to all you guys, but yeah, go ahead.
49 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
What was it about tonight's first quarter that was so different from the previous 3?
The refs. The refs, and they play proper basketball. But the refs.
3.
Well, we slowed the game down within the realms of the way we were playing, but it was still high tempo. We got to the free throw line. We got in the bonus early. Yeah, no wonder. We know how that happened. The damn referees, man. Like, give me a break. Bonus early. Then we got some easy free throws and some easy ones. And then you include that with our pace. It was hard for them to keep up with us tonight. Of course not. It was 8 on 5. Like, come on, bro. Even Cleveland knows that the refs were with them.
They're just not going to say that in front of the microphone, but they know.
It's the first time all series, but we just kept attacking, and understood, that they were never going to quit. KD was just unbelievable again tonight, as well as some of their other guys. But we just try to limit them and make them feel uncomfortable. Force them into some tough shots, and then push and transition. And one thing that was important for our success tonight was just our limit of turnovers. And when we don't turn the ball over and we don't give them fast breaks, then it allows us to set up our half-court defense and everyone get matched up. So we took some steps in the right direction, but we definitely took some things that we did correctly in Game 3 carried over to Game 4.
And we've talked about this before.
What half-court defense is Kyrie talking about? These niggas don't play no defense. Like, what are you talking about? Just say we were hot from the outside, we were hot from 3, and the refs helped us. Talking about a half-court defense.
Before adversity, you guys in adversity, doesn't get much more adverse than basically having to win 4 Game 7s. Why do you guys thrive on that?
I don't know. I wish I had a true answer for that, but every game is do or die, and we understand that. And, we're ready to live in it. And it was great to see, Kyle, as well as Darren, as well as T-Top, just throw themselves in tonight's game and understand the importance of it. And, this is the finals, man. A minute here, 4 minutes here, rebound here, maybe a tech or 2 here. It matters. And, they brought it tonight. I'm super proud of those guys, of all my teammates, but more or less those guys coming in and just giving us energy, as well as RJ coming in and playing huge. And then everybody just collectively coming together, so it was good.
I want to see Kyrie if he can actually be a leader on a team. He talks like a leader, or like he can be a leader, but I just don't see him. He just doesn't have the mentality that it takes, in my view. He's not really concerned with improving his teammates. He's more just concerned with getting his own shit off. I think he relishes his role as being the sniper. But, to be an actual leader of a team, it just takes so much. And I just don't know if he has that.
Third row, Dan Feldman, NBC Sports. You mentioned the chatter coming from the Warriors. Was there anything that was said that particularly rubbed you the wrong way?
All of it. It's just, it's part of the game. I understand that.
Oh, look at Bobby Miles. Bobby Miles agreed with me. He said Kyrie has the greatest layup package I've ever seen. I agree. A couple of commenters got mad at me. They said, Michael Jordan. Look, Michael Jordan was a different type of finisher than Kyrie. Michael Jordan was an above-the-rim finisher. Even though he had, obviously, Michael was phenomenal with layups as well. I would probably put Michael at, 1A to Kyrie. But Kyrie has layups, or as this brother said, Booby Miles, Kyrie has a layup package that even Michael didn't have. Michael didn't have an overhand left-handed layup. Like, Kyrie has overhand left-hand finishes around the basket, overhand left-hand floaters and bank shots. Like, it's just crazy shit I've never seen any other player have. I've seen some guy mention Rod Strickland. A lot of you guys are just mentioning that because you saw that shit on TV. No disrespect. All right? And Rod was a great finisher. Rod was a great assist man. All right? And Rod's finishing was a little bit more difficult because he played in an era where you didn't have stretch fours, so the paint was more packed. But he didn't finish like Kyrie. I'm sorry. And Rod was great, but he didn't finish like Kyrie.
Understand that, but we knew what we were faced with. That was what it was. But then you add, of course, some chatter in there, and that adds some extra motivation. You give us a day in between, and we were ready to come out, especially me, because that taste wouldn't have been the same if we would have lost tonight and they would have celebrated on our home floor. So, I'll just leave that at that.
Is that something that you Cavaliers, regardless of what happens from here on out, have to take some satisfaction that they spoiled perfection and kept the Warriors from winning here in Cleveland for the second time in 3 seasons? And when Kyrie is facing elimination, he's been pretty good.
And I predict he's going to be pretty good in Game 5, too. All right? The Warriors better bring it, man. They better not count on that home cooking shit. They better bring it.
You know, he just set the bar for himself. I can remember my first finals. I was having a conversation with Magic Johnson. Magic told me,
name drop,
you need to average 40 points. So Kyrie, 41 points, 23, 26, and 40. He's average 40. And LeBron needs to be in that 39, 40 range. Kevin Love needs to shoot the ball well, and the guys and then they have a chance. But hey, Oracle's gonna be so loud.
And most importantly,
those guys will come out so aggressive.
Wins in all 5 of those
so
games.
Focused.
We're so not done.
That Oracle shit, look, that shit is overrated. They already beat them there twice last year. All right? What Golden State better worry about is executing. They better not worry about no damn Oracle. Okay? One slip here or there, God forbid, a knee injury, totally different series. All right, we're picking up now. They're noting LeBron James for passing Magic Johnson as attaining the most triple-doubles in NBA Finals history. They're also going to interview Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. So let's see what goes on here.
Just joining us, you missed a wild Game 4. Cavaliers ended perfection for the Warriors. We're going to Game 5 on Monday night. And LeBron James passed Magic Johnson for the all-time Finals triple-double lead with his 9th tonight, as LeBron went for 31 points, 10 boards, and 11 assists. What did you think of his work tonight?
Well, you know, he's always been a great player since day one coming in the league. He came out, he set the tone. Kyrie also set the tone. You know, the guys just, you know, when you're desperate, your back's against the wall, you really have nothing to lose. So they came out, got a big lead, maintained the lead. You know, LeBron got a few minutes of rest, so, you know, the guys, you know, continue to hit shots. But, hey, LeBron's a great player. He's always been doing great things, and congratulations to him for being the guy who has the most triple-doubles in NBA history.
He was it.
Shaq always sound like he talking in his sleep, man. LeBron is a congratulations to LeBron, man. Who the hell dressed Shaq up in that shit? Like who keeps telling Shaq that a checkered suit looks good with striped ties?
He was able to stay under 41 minutes tonight after playing nearly 46 in Game 3. He always talks about, you know, reading the game and playing essentially the same sort of way regardless of the situation. Did you see anything different about his approach tonight?
Not really. He is, you know, everybody talk about Michael Jordan. To me, he is a pass-first guy.
I disagree. I don't think that LeBron is a pass-first guy. I think that LeBron is a ball dominator who happens to distribute. All right? I think that he plays a game very similar to a James Harden and a Russell Westbrook. The only difference is that he's much smarter than either one of those guys, and he makes better decisions. All right, but he's not a pass first guy. Pass first guy is a guy like John Stockton, Steve Nash. Those are pass first guys. All right, Rod Strickland. Those are pass first guys. LeBron James is not a pass first guy. He's a ball dominant player. He's a stat accumulator. He's going to accumulate stats because he has the ball so much, and he's a physical freak.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I said, to me, I don't see any Magic Johnson in him. I see Scottie Pippen and a Karl Malone body.
He'd rather have a triple-double than score 40 points. It's been a privilege and a pleasure to watch him. I wish people would stop, in all sports, comparing, trying to figure out who's better than who.
That's natural. That's what sports is about, Chuck. It's about competition. When people see great athletes and great errors, it's natural for them to try to cross errors and compare. You can't stop that. I'm not much for the hypothetical arguments myself, but that's natural that's going to occur.
This kid, to me, I think it's one of the greatest stories in sports. For this kid to come to the NBA at 18 years old, live up to the hype, all these years later.
Actually, transcend the hype. He's been greater than the hype.
Years later, he's won some championship. But the thing about it, he's never made, other than the decision people didn't like, he has never been in close to trouble.
Right.
that we know of.
I think it's one of the most amazing stories in sports history. Because not many guys can handle 18, all the stuff and fame, as long as he's handled it, and never even came close to getting in trouble. His story is remarkable to me.
He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was, I think, 16. I mean, he's been scrutinized.
Shaq been on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
I'm just saying. It goes back even further.
We're not impressed, man. Yeah, come on, man. We've been on that too.
Steph Curry and Kevin Durant are at the podium inside. There they are. Let's hear from them. They're up 3-1.
Questions?
I just heard Steph complaining about his knee and quad. He took an awkward fall earlier in the game. That's why I said you got to put these guys away. You never know what could happen.
First question here. Second row here.
Steph, down here on the right, Ray Jasky from ESPN on 90. You really struggled with your offense tonight. Can you describe why, what wasn't working for you, what they were doing defensively, and just how you had such a tough night yourself?
It's one of those games. I mean, not going to overreact to one. That's obviously can play better and want to play better and will play better. And
you better play better. Shit. Since we're using the word better so damn much, you better play better, man. Because Kyrie on that ass like a damn mosquito.
I think in the first quarter, we, as a team, didn't.
Kyrie on that ass like you Chloe and he's Tristan.
Team didn't, weren't able to establish ourselves with the way that quarter went on both ends of the floor. So, they played with their backs against the wall. They had a free swing at it, and it was one of those nights where we just didn't have anything clicking. So, looking forward to getting back out there on Monday and playing better.
And like I said before, Steph is really the key. He's the key to their team. It's not really KD.
Better.
And same row.
Ann Killian with the San Francisco Chronicle. For both you guys, kind of following up on that, was there anything that was remarkably different in the way they were attacking you offensively that took you out of your defensive game?
Yeah, they had the refs. Every time they went to the basket, the refs blew the damn whistle.
I think they did a good job. You hear me? Oh, sorry. I think they did a good job of attacking early, and they opened up the three-point game, and they made some tough ones, and they also, just caught
some breaks and some whistles. That's what they caught, and y'all caught an ass whooping.
Caught them in rhythm and knocked them down. That's the team they've been all season, is knocking down deep shots and difficult shots as well. But if you give them some open ones, like we did early on, they're going to knock them in at some point. So we got to be better. I mean, after that first quarter, they're only up, 4 points? From the second to the fourth, they only beat us by 4 points the last three quarters. So that first quarter, they came out and hit us with that, amazing punch. 49 points in the first quarter is way too much.
See, they keep using those same analogies. I told you. Cleveland is the George Foreman of basketball. They hit him with that amazing punch.
Much. But you got to give them credit. They played extremely well tonight.
Marcus standing on the right.
Steph, you guys have lost before. Does this feel any different, considering you haven't lost in a while, and also this kind of sets up another 3-1 going back home and a reminder from last year?
Here you go, bringing up old shit. Why are you bringing up old shit for, man?
Man, different team, man. Obviously, we've haven't felt this feeling walking off the court with a loss in a while. But we've done a good job of bouncing back and being resilient all year, and obviously learning from all different experiences we've been through. I love the vibe we had in the locker room after the game, understanding what we need to do differently to play better, to have a better first punch in that first 6 minutes, to play with more force and aggressiveness and physicality. And talked about it, going home is a good feeling, but it has to go with playing better. We obviously know you can't just go home and expect to win, and we like the fact that we can correct a lot of things going into Game 5 and just have put a better foot forward, especially in that first quarter, and not lose the game right there.
Kevin, you and LeBron had a nice exchange. That just good playoff conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take everything away from the game. Taking the hard fouls out of the game, calling them flagrants, taking a lot of stuff out of the game, but you can't take the emotion out of the game. And we wasn't coming to blows. We were just talking, and that's a part of basketball.
Of course y'all was just talking. What y'all gonna do? Y'all not gonna knuckle up on the court. That's what y'all do. Y'all talk shit.
Basketball, the game of basketball created that. You know what I'm saying? The refs didn't, we didn't as players. It's like the aura of the game created trash talk and just communication out there. You know what I'm saying? So I know you could take away the physical part of the game as far as controlling stuff, but emotionally, like, that should be us. That should be what the players have as their own out there. So I'm sure it's going to continue. It's nothing malicious, or we didn't say anything malicious. It's just a part of the game. Like I say, emotions are, what keeps this game alive. It keeps it going. It's for the players.
Dan, Kenny, and Mark, last three. Dan Feldman, NBC Sports. Steph, I'm sorry we keep asking you about squatting, but while Draymond and Steve were arguing with the ref and one of them got the technical, it looked like you squatted down. And were you just stretching there? And what did Richard Jefferson say to you?
You serious right now?
You gotta be better.
People are curious.
Come on now, man. This is crazy.
You gotta be better than that.
People are curious.
I really don't have an answer for that. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
What did Richard Jefferson say to you?
I have no idea. I don't remember what situation you're talking about, but yeah.
You gotta be better, bro. I'm sorry.
God.
I like you, but you gotta be better.
I can already see a little cracking in Golden State. Understand something. KD is not a mentally strong player. All right? You can crack him. That's why I said Golden State better win Game 5. Because if they lose Game 5, now they're in a situation where they have to win Game 6 on the road, or they're right back to where they were last year. All right? Do not sleep on the importance of Game 5. Already they're going back and forth with people in the, with reporters in the crowd. All you got to do is answer the question. I hate when these guys say they don't remember what happened. These niggas remember every moment of the game. They're just acting like they don't. Because they don't want to reveal what was said or what their motivations were. Like I said, it was obvious to me that Steph did that squat at the end of Game 3 to show KD you shitting on him. That's what he was saying. You shitting on him. All right? But he has to keep up the choir boy image, so he can't say that's what he was doing. All right? But anyway.
Kenny, I'll take the compliment.
Steph, Kenny wrote at WHBC. The physicality tonight, obviously different than the first three. How much different, and how much of that was a factor in them coming out and leading by 16 in the first quarter?
That was pretty much the fact in the first quarter. They got to the free throw line 20-something times. And
you see what Steph did? When the guy asked about the quote-unquote physicality, Steph said that was the factor. The physicality is a code word for the referees allowing them to manhandle the Warriors, and when the Warriors tried to return it, they blew the whistle. That's how the refs can control the flow of the game, and how they can control the energy in the game right away.
And slow the pace down. Granted, I mean, you could nitpick each call, but they were the aggressor to begin with, and usually the aggressor gets the favorable whistle.
Usually, allegedly.
So we understand that going forward, and historically against this team, when we don't answer that punch in the first 6 minutes, we put ourselves behind the 8-ball, and no matter how well we play after that, it takes a miraculous rise to try to get back in the game. So
yeah, because they can score. Cleveland can score their asses off. So you can't get down on them by 15 on the road. You just can't.
Game. So, we had to understand that. You like that?
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you. We have to understand that going forward, that, whoever's the aggressor to begin with sets the tone for the game, gets the pace to where you want it. And good things happen out of that. So
you could tell that KD likes the positive vibe of Golden State. I wonder what that tattoo is on KD's right wrist.
got to watch the film and understand how it went down and do something about it on Monday.
Kevin, Steph Curry, you got approval there from Kevin Durant on his answer. Yes?
Can they put that stat back up there?
Which stat?
About the last time the Golden State Warriors lost.
Oh, they've lost. That was the second time in 32 games.
No, but the date.
It was April 10th.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
They lost
almost 2 months.
I know. Tomorrow, June the 10th, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's the second loss in 32 games going back to the regular season. That's how good they've been.
And I think that loss was KD's first. Was it KD's first game back or second game back?
But strangely, and that's ongoing, they weren't asked about the chance that they're no longer perfect in the playoffs and miss this golden opportunity.
Well, I don't think they care because I think tonight.
I think they cared a little.
No,
They cared a little bit, but I think right now their main thing is they just want to put Cleveland away. But they wanted to sweep Cleveland. There's no doubt about that because that would have evened out them falling down 3-1, or them giving up a 3-1 lead last year. That would have nullified it. But now they have to try to win in 5.
No,
you don't think they cared about being 16-0?
If they cared, they would.
Not as much as the championship. You don't think they cared about that?
No, because
I don't buy that.
They didn't come up. They gave up 50 points the first quarter.
They did do that.
They did not. They were going through the motions. They gave up 50 points the first quarter. They didn't play tonight. Listen, no disrespect to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Steve Kerr said it. These guys said it. We can come out to play tonight. We had no defensive intensity, no defensive energy. They thought the champs was going to pack it in. But like he says, dude, we're not going to overreact to one game. They're in the driver's seat. And all these fools out there are going to be talking about 3-1 last year. They got Kevin Durant. This ain't the same team. And Jan Stenerud ain't going to be out there kicking people.
Jan Stenerud, he's back.
He's back.
He's back in the postgame show. Well, I thought it was interesting that they were asked about their offensive game tonight in a game in which they gave up 49 in the first quarter. That was not their main issue. Offense.
That's their main issue. I agree with Chuck that didn't come to play. Again, they play like, you know what, we'll just come out, see what happens. If we win, good. If not, we get to go to our place and shut it out. Because,
I think on the outside they were saying the right things. We want to put this team away. But they naturally lowered their guard when they went up 3-0. All right? And that happens. And when you're playing a team as talented as Cleveland, these type of things can happen on the road. But now Game 5 becomes like Game 7. They have to win Game 5.
They've never won on their floor. So,
right.
They have a good opportunity to take it there. But I have to disagree with Chuck. I think they did care. I think they wanted to be the first team to go 16-0 because a lot of people was already giving them, the accolades of the best team ever. And if you're 16-0, then you have a good argument. But now, my record is safe.
It was so interesting hearing Curry, though, say, we know we get punched in the face the first 6 minutes, and we're going to come out. These two already said, I'm just going to repeat it. Roracle, the first 10 minutes of the game,
gonna be crazy.
Do not miss it because I think, forget the 16-0. I think now they're like, oh, y'all think y'all can score 49 in the quarter? Yeah. Ooh, wait till you get a load of the Splash family. So it's going to be interesting those first few minutes.
Yeah, they were complaining that Clay said after game 1 or 2, we could score 140 points. That might be in danger.
Yeah.
That might be in danger. They're going to try to blow the scoreboard up.
As they always do, and Roracle will be insane. It's one of the great venues in the entire league.
Look, they talking all this Roracle shit. All I know is this. Golden State better win this Game 5, man. Golden State better win this Game 5, because if they lose Game 5, the whole complexion of the series changes.
Our league was before the Warriors got really good, and it's just even more so now. Chuck called for it pregame, and it came to pass. Somehow, they all showed up tonight.
I had a great season.
Gandhi standing up, though. He on the...
They got Gandhi and the Pope, the child molester, blood drinking Pope. But that's for another video on another day. Allegedly, child molesting blood drinker. Gandhi, MI5 agent, allegedly. But we'll touch on all those things in subsequent videos.
The folks who missed the pregame show have no idea what we're talking about right now, by the way.
Gandhi about to get a tip.
This was Chuck's keys to the game. All these people have to be in the game.
Shaq said Gandhi about to get a check.
They all showed up tonight.
They all were there, either physically or maybe just in spirit. It worked for the Cavaliers. They lived for a Game 5. Fellas, enjoyed it. Safe travels. Postgame.
All right, now we're back. Let's hear what LeBron James had to say about this Game 4 victory for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Welcome to the postgame show. LeBron James, a 9th triple-double in the finals. That is now an all-time record. His team stays alive, 137-116. Here he is at the podium as we will head to Oakland on Monday.
LeBron must like them hats. He got one in every color. They probably secrete Rogaine on it right on the inside of the top of the hat.
First question, back left. LeBron, Joseph Machado, the scorer. I was just wondering if you could take us through kind of what's going through your head and how the play developed, the one where you went off the glass to yourself.
I think it was a transition play, and I believe it was Kyle on my right side that was running the wing, and two of their players were back, and I was trying to engage one of them so I could get Kyle a shot in the corner, and they both went to Kyle, I believe, and I got caught in the air. So that's the only thing I could think of. I didn't want to travel, and Draymond was kind of playing double T. Double T kind of had his back towards me, so just threw it off the glass and went and got it.
Fourth row back, sorry.
LeBron, Spencer Davies, Basketball Insiders. Just the way you guys came out in that first quarter where Tristan's establishing the tone of the game, J.R. Smith's hitting some big threes. How can you ensure that you bring that same kind of mentality on the road in Oracle and just seeing what you guys were capable of doing that?
He can't ensure a goddamn thing. All he can do is hope for the best and hope that they travel with them crooked-ass refs.
Well, we're going to watch the film, when we get to Golden State, and, we're going to see ways we can be better. We didn't play, our type of game, game 1 and game 2, and if we don't do that, if we play like we played in game 1 and game 2, the series is over. So we have to continue to play how we played at home. We have to be physically, be physical at the point of attack.
And the refs will allow you to be physical at the point of attack and every other point. So Golden State, I'm telling you, man, they better bring their A game. They better bring their A++ game. They better be hot from the outside. They better be ready to play through bad calls. They better be ready.
Of attack, we got to continue to move the ball, share the ball, and tonight we had 27 assists, and that's very key.
In the first 3 games, you guys kind of struggled from beyond the arc, hit 24 tonight. Just how different of a team are you guys when you're just knocking those perimeter shots down?
That's part of who we are. We set a lot of records since we kind of assembled this team the last couple of years, and that's just part of who we are. We got guys that can stretch the floor and make big shots, and they did it tonight from Kai, Kevin, and Swish.
But supposedly LeBron don't have any help. But they're always breaking 3-point records. And he's not the guy that's leading the team in 3-pointers. So it's amazing that it's always that LeBron doesn't have enough help. Like I stated in the past, the only real super team in the NBA are the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're the ones who were assembled to be a super team. Golden State was never considered to be a super team until they came out of nowhere in the 2014-15 season. All right, all they did was add one free agent. That's Kevin Durant.
Swish, and everybody else shipped in as well.
Chris up front.
Chris Haynes, ESPN. Ron, did you talk with your teammates before the game and just stress, like, we're not going out like that? To something along those lines?
I didn't hear it, but some of the other guys heard it and told me that, that they wanted to, they wanted to celebrate on our floor once again, and, they wanted to spray champagne in our locker rooms, and, I think it came from Draymond, which is okay. That's Dre anyways. But, so I just told guys, I didn't stress anything besides just living the moment. Yeah.
Oh, bullshit. If y'all had lost tonight and they would have asked you, did you hear anything from Golden State saying that they wanted to end it here, you'd have been like, oh, no, I didn't hear nothing. Oh, did they say that? Okay. Now you want to talk about how you heard stuff. See how these guys are? Whenever something go wrong, they always forgot. Like Ty Lue, he was forgetting every damn play after game 1.
You know, live in the moment. We have a great opportunity to, to give ourselves another opportunity to keep going. And, we played well in game 3, well enough to win, and we just didn't do it. But tonight we came out and, we stuck to the game plan. Our coaching staff put together, and, this is close to a 48-minute game we played in the postseason. And even in the first, first 3 rounds, this was close to a 48-minute game that we played, and it was big for us.
Again, in the front.
Sherry from Tencent, China. How important is that everybody standing out for the game, and also do you finally feel that tonight you guys are who you are?
Well, I think the last 2 games we've played Cavaliers basketball, we've been physical. We haven't turned the ball over, and we've shared the ball. And like I said, in game 3, we just down the stretch we couldn't make any shots, and they did. And now it's just some make or miss league at that point. So, the last couple of games we've been playing Cavaliers basketball.
Oh boy, there you go. Here you go, his sex slave, Rihanna. Time for the King's Quarter. That must be code word for coochie. You know what I'm saying? Look at this broad in the picture. She over there blowing kisses in the photo. She's another one. Just like I said, I don't know how a guy could walk down the street holding hands with Khloe Kardashian. How the hell you gonna walk down the street holding hands with Rihanna? Like, come on, man. If they ever... Imagine if Rihanna ever claimed that she was sexually assaulted. She go to the cops and they ask her for, a pair of her drawers, the pair of her drawers that she was raped in, to check for a DNA sample. They're going to have to call into the police department every man in Barbados.
Basketball, and this resulted in us just playing better and us getting this win tonight.
Allegedly.
This win tonight.
Mark in the middle.
LeBron, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. It kind of looks like deja vu all over again. You guys going back west, down 3-1. Do you have these guys just where you want them?
No, they got us where they want us. No, I don't. No, listen, at the end of the day, we want to try to put ourselves in position to play another game. And we did that tonight, and hopefully we can do it Monday night where we can come back here.
LeBron, no, this ain't the same team. But at the same time, KD brings a whole different element, but what he doesn't bring is mental resolve. KD can be broken. All right? He can be mentally fractured. So, and then the guy who's mentally strongest on their team is a live wire, that being Draymond. So, look for LeBron to try to play some mind games in Game 5.
So, our mindset is try to go up there and get one, which is probably one of the toughest environments we have in this league, along with our building. And, so we look forward to the challenge and the matchup.
Dan, back right.
Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. 40 more tonight for Kyrie. LeBron coming off of the difficult end to Game 3, big performance from him. Did you feel that he was going to be able to bounce back in a big way after that tough end to Game 3? And what else did you see from him tonight?
He's just been very special in closeout games, and either we on both sides, us being able to close out or a team trying to close out on us. He's just been built for that moment. I've said that over and over again, that he's always been built for the biggest moments, and tonight he showed that once again. It's not surprising. He's just that special.
Dave, left side, second row.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN. LeBron, whether it's adversity or desperation or intensity, this group, as we've seen the last couple of years, seems to always respond to it. What is in your guys' makeup that allows you to only have that really come out in these situations?
I don't know. I don't like it. It causes too much stress, man.
Well, it causes y'all to win in the big spots of these goddamn refs, man. Y'all need to bring the refs to the first 3 games.
Stress, man. I'm stressed out. Keep doing this every year. But listen, at the end of the day, we just got some resilient guys. The Warriors have championship DNA, and we do as well. And, we battle-tested, they're battle-tested, and, getting swept is something that you never want to, happen, and, especially at this point, you get all the way to the finals. you hate to get swept, lose 2 games on your home floor. So I think a lot of guys had that in their mind today, and they came out and played like it.
And a quick follow-up. Physically, are you okay? We saw you getting some treatment after the game.
Why are guys always asking if LeBron is physically okay? You think that this man spends millions of dollars on training equipment and the top line performance-enhancing drugs for him to not be able to bounce back? Like, come on, man. Allegedly.
I'll be all right on Monday. I'll be all right on Monday.
Scott up front. LeBron, Scott Sargent, WFNY. A couple years back, obviously, Andy was kind of that spark plug energy-wise. How different is it now when Tristan can play the game that he was able to play tonight versus the last 3 games from just a collective team-wide energy standpoint?
I mean, he's a big piece of our puzzle. I mean, we all know that. I mean, he's been huge for our success the last 3 years, and they've done a great job of, putting him in the game plan, and neutralizing what he does best, and that's offensive rebound and giving us extra possessions. And, it's been very tough on him in this final so far. But he didn't get down on himself. I mean, he came through when we needed him the most.
They're able to take him out of the game because he can't do anything other than offensive rebound. If he was to diversify his game and work on different aspects of his game, it would be harder for them to block him out. But he doesn't. So, therefore, they know where he's going to be on the floor at all times. He's never going to be more than 3 feet away from the basket because he has no offensive moves.
And I was tonight getting 10 rebounds and also dishing out 5 assists. So, it was big time.
He's a professional, but you've referred to him before as your little brother. Have you had any talks with him over the last 3 games after any sort of frustration or struggles in regard to being ready for Game 4?
Yeah, I have. I'm not here to tell you guys what I've been talking to him about but you know what I expect out of him. Like I said tonight, when we needed the most, he was there.
Joe, 4th row left.
Joe Vargan, Cleveland.com. LeBron, after Game 3 being such a letdown, did you have to work into believing that something like tonight was possible? And if you did, when did you get to that point?
When Adam Silver called his house and said that everything has been arranged, that's when he knew that everything was going to be all right. Adam called him up and said, LeBron, right now, I'm getting my hairs done and I'm getting my manicure. I just want you to know I've spoken to the refs. They know what to do. Just drive the lane. Try to finish strong. Don't act like a bitch. Try to finish strong and you'll get what you need to get to Game 5. All right? The crew for Game 5 has also been debriefed. Everything has been set up. I just need you to handle your business. Give Kyrie the ball in the 4th quarter. The game is close. I don't need you on the line. And everything should be fine. Just try to get us to Game 7 and you'll get that little lump sum that we spoke about. Okay? Bye.
No, I didn't have to work into believing it. At the end of the day, I had the same game day ritual. And I slept great last night. I came to shoot around, got my work in. I went home, took my usual pregame nap, got up, ate my pregame food, came to work. I didn't feel anything, actually. I was just excited about the moment. It is what it is. You come to work and you put in the work and you study the game for myself and you do everything to put yourself in a position to succeed. There's no reason to add any more pressure to it. And I'm not saying it was a result of a win because I've done the same thing for a long time now. But for myself, just being able to just stay even keel no matter the situation I think it's good for our ball club.
4th row over here. LeBron, Michael.
Whatever happened to LeBron not wanting to come to the podium? I thought he didn't like going to the podium.
Michael Bevan with the Akron Beacon Journal. This game lasted almost 3 hours and you had a triple-double.
Where you at?
Over here.
Oh, okay.
This game was, it had a little bit.
No wonder you can't see his ass. His shirt is the same color as the seats.
A little bit of everything. Do you feel as emotionally and mentally drained as you did the last game when you guys lost?
I'm about there. And it lets me know that I did what I was supposed to do when I'm emotionally and physically drained at the end of a finals game. And if I'm not, then I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So That would be it's 2 games in a row where I felt like that, and now I got to get my mind ready. Once again.
Front row here.
Valeria Rubino, Viaggio Sport. LeBron, the NBA life means a lot of traveling. Do you have a particular routine on the plane? How do you maximize your rest?
Well, I mean, it's quite a long flight going out west, and so we try to get a little bit of sleep. I try to get a little bit of sleep, and then I get up and get treatment on the plane, and just get my body as much treatment as I can on the plane, and so get a couple hours of rest. Obviously, it's gonna be probably not too. It won't be a long. It won't be easy for me to sleep tonight because I'm so still going on with the game and things of that nature. And, my body not feeling as great, but I'll be fine tomorrow.
How did your approach to the game and your style of play evolve between the first final you played in and this one?
I stunk in the first finals. I don't stink anymore.
Last 3. Robert, Michael here, and then on the left side.
Robert Littal, Black Sports Online. Kyrie was in here and he said that he always is looking at social media. He says he sees everything you've talked about a lot of times about how you're past that, you don't listen to critics and everything. Do you talk to your teammates when all of this stuff is kind of floating around about curses and Cavs and 7 tweets that, kind of go viral on social media about kind of pushing that stuff away?
Nah.
No, you talk to him. Because that's why you told Tristan not to bring Chloe to the damn stadium, man. You know about that element that she brings to the stadium. Because you're dealing with a little bit of witchcraft your damn self. That's why you always throwing up the diamond, so-called diamond, or the Delta symbol for the mother goddess. You know what it is. That's why when Rihanna was at Oracle Arena, she threw up the diamond. Because y'all are part of the same, little order. All right, so you know what it is, bro. Knock it off.
Nah, I don't see it. So it's hard. I can't talk to my teammates about it because I don't see it. Unless one of the guys bring it to me either as a joke or something they want me to see. But I don't. It don't go. I don't have notifications on my phone. I don't have none of the apps on my phone right now, so I can't even click on it and accidentally click on. I don't get involved in that, man, because I'm I'm like every other mention. When I play, and I don't like it, man, because people just be talking people talk crazy, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. So I know better.
On the left side, on the second row, and then over here, Michael.
How long?
That's why you asked Kevin Durant why he was talking crazy. You're lucky he's about to snap.
Hello from LA Sports China. LeBron, tonight's game was so physical and also dramatic. How did you guys make it to focus on basketball and not to be distracted and especially keep the lead?
At the end of the day, the game is supposed to be played physically. And
and it's supposed to be officiated fairly too. Physical play is okay as long as it's called the same for both parties.
As both teams want to, put themselves in the record books, put themselves in basketball history, so try to do whatever it takes to win, and I think both teams definitely, trying to do that from game to game.
Michael, last question over here.
LeBron, Michael Grange from Sportsnet in Toronto. Just your reaction to that first quarter, first half.
If I was a sports writer in Toronto, I wouldn't even come to the damn game. As whack as your team plays in the playoffs, man.
First half, both record-setting. You came within a free throw of 50 for a quarter and 80, whatever it was, at half. Did you have a minute to think about what was going on?
No, you can't. Well, first of all, if you take a minute to see what's going on versus team, they hit you with a 50-point quarter. There's no, you can't. We were just playing in the moment, and we just playing good basketball. We was in attack mode, and it results in us having 49. The reason we didn't hit 50 is because I can't shoot a free throw. So.
Now you got to listen to that. This guy, he's trying to survive in the finals, and he's gonna come out and say he can't shoot a free throw. Now what that does is that legitimizes all the talk from people like Skip Bayless who say that he's scared to drive to the basket and he kicks out not because he's trying to make the right basketball play, but because he doesn't want to put himself in position to have to make free throws in a pressure situation. He just confirmed that with that statement. All right? I'm going to rewind it one more time.
So, but I hit 50 is because I can't shoot a free throw. So, but I'll be better in game 5.
Thank you.
But I was always in attack mode, and it results in us having 49. The reason we didn't hit 50 is because I can't shoot a free throw. So, but I'll be better in game 5.
See, he had to slip that "I'll be better in game 5" in because he realized what he did. All right, LeBron's weakness. See, he's strong mentally for this era, but in the 90s and the early 2000s, they would have broke him down because it's too easy for him to admit his inner fears, and you can't do that when you get to this level. Not when you're going against other Lions. In this era, he's really the only Lion.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, LeBron.
Well, LeBron James made the grade. He talked.
All right, so now let's hear from Draymond and what he has to say with his mentally unstable ass.
His ears. This was Draymond post-game after a Warrior loss.
What's the explanation they gave you on the technicals?
I didn't get one. Told me to keep playing. As I asked, he told me to keep playing. Mark Davis. So, I don't know. It's crazy to think that he thought that was my second technical foul and I would get a technical foul for that. But whatever.
But you knew who was the second technical?
Yeah, I knew. Because the first tech on Steve, which I didn't understand, Mike Callahan came up to John and asked him who was the tech on it. He said Kerr.
Doesn't matter. They declared the code red on your team for game 4. All right? They declared the code red on your team for game 4, and the code red will still be on you guys for game 5. And if you guys don't play on point, mentally stable, mentally sharp, you will lose that game. All right? So that's for you, sir, Mr. Draymond Green, because you will be the guy that they target. Expect Cleveland to try to get up in Draymond's all up in his jersey. Expect them to try to initiate some type of physical confrontation, get him to snap. Expect them to start flopping all around him, trying to draw flagrant fouls, much like Iman's trying to do here. Expect all that.
So, I knew I didn't have a technical foul, but still trying to figure out why did I get the second one.
You got to have a little fun with your fans.
Yeah.
And look, he's more worried about the crowd and taking on the crowd than he is staying within the framework of the game. That's why I said it's unbelievable to me why he finds it so incredulous why people would ask him about how well he's been able to handle himself in these playoffs in comparison to what he's done in the past. He clearly does not fully get it. All right. He's a dude who poses as being mentally strong on the outside, and he does a lot of that trash talking to cover up for his own insecurities, because you can break Draymond. It's just that you can break him in a different way from how somebody would break a Steph Curry or a Kevin Durant. All right, you can get Draymond to explode.
Yeah, they messed that one up bad. That was I don't know. That was pretty bad.
What did you think of the way the game was called generally?
It's a little different.
You know how the game was called. The game was called on a bullshit level. You guys had no chance tonight. None. An A++ performance by Golden State, it would have been a 1-point game with about 30 seconds left.
That's what it is.
What you going in the first quarter?
I mean, they were aggressive. You got to give them some credit. They were very aggressive. But when everyone has 2 fouls, it's hard to match the physicality. So.
Exactly. All right. You can't match the physicality of Cleveland when the refs are basically telling you that we're only going to allow physicality from one side.
So, we'll bounce back, though. At the end of the day,
we didn't expect them to come out and lay down. They came out and did exactly what we thought they would do. I can't foresee them coming to Oracle and hitting 24 threes.
Don't worry about what you foresee, bro. You better be prepared for anything. Be prepared for anything.
So, nonetheless, they hit all those threes, and we never felt like we were out the game. You know, we continued to push. We were right there. A couple shots dropped. You know, maybe the game turned. So we'll be fine.
All the altercations, do you think the game got out of hand? Does it feel that way?
Maybe a little bit. I think it did a little bit, but, you know, as we've all said, the longer the series go on, the more stuff like that happens.
That's why you got to cut it off in Game 5, bro. Cut it off in Game 5. God forbid y'all lose Game 5. Somebody go down in Game 6.
I think it's good for basketball. I don't really understand the double tech. Like, what does that accomplish? I don't know. Like,
that's to maintain the facade that they have control to potentially kick either one of them out the game. We all know that there's no chance of them kicking LeBron out the game. The only guy that they would kick out would be Kevin.
Like, if you're gonna separate them, separate them. Don't stand there and look at them talk and then like wait for them to talk and wait and see how long they're gonna talk and then double tech them. Just tell them to move. I don't really know what that accomplishes. What is it about? Just good basketball conversation. Nothing too crazy.
That's ironic because LeBron was asking him why he was talking crazy. In other words, LeBron was saying, "Look, nigga, I understand you on the verge of getting your first title. Just accept it. There's no need for you to act like a tough guy. We both know you're not a tough guy. Just play the game."
Obviously, a little different circumstance last year when it was 3-1 because you didn't play in Game 5.
Yeah, thank God I get to play on Monday. Hopefully.
Even if it was only one technical, not two, you had this run without picking up any techs or flagrants in the playoffs.
Man, it's crazy. It just happened now. I ain't even been in nobody's face. I've been getting texts. Hey.
You haven't been in nobody's face. You've been in the ref's face every game. Come on, bro. Knock it off, man. Every generation, you have a player in the league who tries to play the victim role. Oh, they keep picking on me. You know, last generation it was Ron Artest. Before that, it was Rasheed Wallace. Before that, it was Dennis Rodman. There's always some guy who swears that the league is picking on him. And what they have in common is that they all are attention whores, attention mongers, and for some reason they think that their bitching and complaining is going to make the refs change how they call the game, and it doesn't.
Hey, some things just never change, right?
Yeah, like your conduct, brother. You got to get together, man.
Have you feeling more agitated, or is that kind of the pressure of the series ramps up and you get deeper into that or anything?
No, I just try to play basketball, you know, and I tell you, ain't no tech gonna stop me from being me, man.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. It's not that you allow techs to stop you from being you or encourage you for being you. You encourage the tech. You want the technical. All right, because you're like a child. You're going to keep going until they establish a boundary for you. And you enjoy it because you enjoy the attention. That's a way for you to get the attention that you can't get in the manner that Steph or Clay or Kevin Durant get it. People don't understand that a lot of these players, they express themselves subconsciously through their conduct. Draymond knows he's never going to be a guy who can score 36, 37 and a quarter like Clay or Steph. So he gets his attention another type of way, by throwing tantrums. Right? It's the same way that certain players start dressing crazy. You know, guys like Russell Westbrook and Dwayne Wade, the reason why they started dressing crazy was as a way to get attention away from a higher profile teammate. You notice D Wade didn't really start dressing crazy until LeBron got there, because he had to get attention some type of way. Same thing with Westbrook. When Westbrook was starting to come into more prominence, he started to dress crazy to get attention away from Durant.
I mean, at least if I'm gonna get them, I think I should let me earn them. You know, let me get my money's worth if I'm gonna get some text. But hey, the day and age we live in. That's what it is.
Did you notice that the scores table didn't announce that tech wasn't on you? They said the second tech was on you, then they didn't come out.
No, I don't really pay that much attention. I don't pay much attention to anybody in Cleveland, honestly. Don't seem to be the sharpest people around, so.
No, they're not sharp at all. They're a bunch of to be honest with you, a bunch of white trash Midwesterners for the most part. But it is what it is. It's what you have to deal with. But don't say you don't pay attention to them when you're always waving your hands and acknowledging them, right? You exalt in the attention, bro. You still think it's about you. That's the problem.
Whatever.
When you saw the scoreboard at halftime, what came to mind?
That they're playing amazing. We're only down 18 points, and we can cover 18 points, and we just need to get some stops. 86 points is a lot of points, and 68 is more than enough to be winning the game. But you give up 86, 14 away from 100 at half. Like that's a bit shocking. So, but yet we still thought like, hey, we're right here. We probably should be on 30. Yet we're down 18. Let's come out and make a push. And I think we did that. Just every time we made a push, they would hit a timely shot. And they were tough. It wasn't, we got to 11 and Kyrie hit like the toughest three I've seen all year. So, it happens.
Any disappointment? Not.
Easy, partner. Easy, partner. I know you're from Cleveland. And
who gives a damn if he's from Cleveland? It is what it is. So that's pretty much it. Like I've stated, this series is not over. I truly hope for Golden State's sake that they can finish it off in game 5 in Oracle Arena. If not, it's going to be a major problem for them. Major problem for them. All right, because I don't believe that Cleveland's going to lose another game in Cleveland. So that will bring them to a game 7 and a revisit of last year, which is something that they do not want, believe me. But anyway, that's it on that. Referees win game 4 for Cleveland, and they're going to be trying to win game 5. The editors are at it again.